This video is brought to you by my generous backers over on Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel and get cool perks like access to the Discord, seeing the videos a week before anyone else, or exclusive Patreon only gameplays, then feel free to check out my Patreon. The link's in the description below. Perforos Bronze-Blooded versus Grand Arbiter Augustin IV. Worst case scenario, we can just go Wheel of Fortune with that hand. We're on the draw, so yeah, we just go Mana Vault on turn 1. See what we draw into for a couple of turns. If it's no good, then we can go Wheel of Fortune. Dockside Extortionist might help us against an Azorius player. I think it might be worth getting down Goblin Welder if we're going to discard the Gilded Lotus. Okay, Suppression Field, activated abilities cost 2 more to activate unless they are mana abilities. That is relevant against our commander. We still don't get into a land, unfortunately. This is... yeah, that's just a red land for them. So do we go for Goblin Welder before the wheel? I think I do want to do that because the Gilded Lotus can replace the Mana Vault when we eventually tap that. Plus this gives us another draw to get into a land before we wheel. Alright, our opponent's kept a hand just because it had Suppression Field in it by the looks of it, and it's good against our commander. Yeah, Skull Clamp. I mean, we just have to go for the Wheel of Fortune here. Because we're not getting into lands. Unfortunately, we're probably going to get our opponent into lands here. And I think our opponent's paused here, so they're probably considering whether or not to exile this before we discard. Unless the client was just lagging. Okay, let's therefore go for a Thought Vessel. Yeah, we'll get even more mana on the go. Try and accelerate past our opponent. Leave the Goblin Welder untapped so that we can go after the... we could go for Ancient Stone Idol, I suppose. But I think I'd rather have the mana at this point. Oh, Meek Stone. Of all the cards, a Meek Stone. Alright. Is there anything we can get rid of Meek Stone with? Skull Clamp. I mean, do we just start going crazy with an Ancient Stone Idol? I think we have to outrace them at this point, so let's go for an Ancient Stone Idol with the Goblin Welder. Oh, and of course that costs 2 extra. Already forgetting about Suppression Field. So we'll say no to that. We're going to kill it off anyway. Oh, an Inferno Titan. We cannot go for Inferno Titan yet. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So let's hold up Thrill of Possibility. We'll go Ancient Tomb. Hold up Goblin Welder again. Or do we just go in for our commander? Yeah, let's go in for our commander here instead. Just because they don't have counter magic held up. And then if the Ancient Stone Idol has haste anyway, then we can throw it out with this thing on our next turn. Okay, that looks like another prison/tax effect. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they sacrifice a permanent unless they pay 1. Okay. Not going to untap the vault. Now we've got a Mishra's Workshop that can get us into a Coercive Portal. Yeah, I think we're going for Goblin Welder. We'll get rid of the vault. Bring in the Ancient Stone Idol. Then we can play Mishra's Workshop. We can sacrifice that because it won't untap anymore. Oh, it's with power 3 or greater. I thought it was CMC. I'm completely misremembering what Meekstone's doing. Obviously, I've been playing too long now. So we'll just swing in with that. Yeah, I thought that the Goblin Welder wasn't going to untap. But obviously it is. So we'll just go like that. And then how about... yeah, we can go for Coercive Portal. And sacrifice this, seeing as how this isn't going to untap. Yeah, that's a better idea. And then we can hold on to Thrill of Possibility. So yeah, let's sacrifice this thing. So we sacrificed the Ancient Stone Idol. Like I said, it wasn't going to untap anyway. That leaves us with an 8-2, is it? A 6-2? Yeah, a 6-2 with Trample. When we swing in with that, we can sacrifice it to bring in the Stone Idol again. And like I said, holding up the Thrill of Possibility during our opponent's turn. So just making use of the haste at this point. And at some point we can go for Inferno Titan and kill this thing off if we want to. Then our opponent's just holding up mana. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and... yep, just 5. Oh no, 6 there. Yeah, that's throwing me off with the weird frame and the art that you don't normally see. But yeah, it's not Cyclonic Rift anyway, I don't think. So at the end of the turn, I will go Thrill of Possibility, get rid of a land in the hope that we draw into another one. We will sacrifice... yeah, obviously going to say no to that. We'll sacrifice the Thought Vessel. And I think we have to go in for Inferno Titan. Yeah, get into another land. We'll draw a couple more cards at the beginning of our turn. We force the draw with this. Okay, Imperial Recruiter is a means of getting into Kiki-Jiki, but that suppression field is going to hurt us on that front. I think Hoarding Dragon into a Meteor Golem is a good idea. How much will it cost us to do that? It's 5 mana, isn't it? So that's all of our mana pretty much. Yeah. So I think going for Meteor Golem towards the end of our opponent's turn is the best thing to do. And that's the good thing about Purphoros, it has you sacrifice a Hoarding Dragon, which actually is a means of getting into artifacts, using that as a tutor. So we'll just swing in with the Construct. We're not going to be able to activate Goblin Welder thanks to that suppression field. And we're not going to cast any spells, so we don't need to worry about the Enforcer just yet. Now they've got Rift mana. Okay, they're going for a Primordial. I can't remember what the white one does. Exile up to 1 target creature a player controls. So they just get rid of Goblin Welder here, I think. Well, I'd rather that than them getting rid of what I'm about to do. We could go for an activation on that in response. And then get out the Ancient Stone Idol again and just continue to give them a hard time with that. I think I'd rather get rid of Suppression Field, to be honest, so let's just allow that. Then they shouldn't swing in here because we've got... okay, well they are doing. We've got Sneak Attack held up, so we can block here. Let's throw out the Hoarding Dragon. So we kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. We get a Hoarding Dragon into play to tutor for an artifact. And we get rid of one of our opponent's tax effects. Grab the Meteor Golem. Block like that. And then when the Hoarding Dragon gets sacrificed at the end of the turn, we will get that Meteor Golem into hand. Certainly going to say yes on that, and there we go. Getting a Meteor Golem, so we'll be able to get rid of that suppression field now. Okay, Felden of the Third Path. There is Bearer of the Heavens, which we can do something with when it comes to Kiki-Jiki. Let's throw out a land. So we go like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 floating. 2, 3 and 4. So we'll go like that. We'll hold up the Buried Ruin just in case we want to grab back the Meteor Golem. Although, oh, it's going to be in play, isn't it? Because, yeah, we didn't sneak attack this in, we hard cast it, so let's get rid of that suppression field. And then there's nothing else we can do. We could go for Buried Ruin on something else. That is Graveyard to Hand. So let's have a look here. We've got Thought Vessel, the Ancient Stone Idol, of course. Been giving our opponent grief with that. Yeah, it might be worth going for the Ancient Stone Idol, actually. we've got two abilities on Purphoros now, unless they get another tax effect into play. Okay, Grand Abolisher does stop us from going for abilities. Are we going to draw into a mountain to replace the Buried Ruin if we go for this, is the question. Yeah, I think Inferno Titan onto Grand Abolisher might be an idea. I can't guarantee that we'll get into a land, so I'm just going to hold on to Buried Ruin for now. Our opponent seems to be on the back foot here. Non-artifact spells cost 1 more to cast. Well, we're not casting stuff, so that doesn't matter. Then they decide not to swing in because they don't want us to lose Meteor Golem. They want that where they can see it. Now we can actually clear our opponent's board of Grand Abolisher and Lodestone Golem. Oh well, would you look at that, we got into a land anyway. Not to worry, we could have gone for the Ancient Stone Idol then in that case, but doesn't matter. So Mishra's Workshop is switched off pretty much. We could hard cast the Inferno Titan and just keep it. No, we're going to lose it anyway because they'll block. So let's sneak attack. Back to our 3 mana sneak attacks now. We throw down an Inferno Titan. And that is... we'll just do the 3 damage to the Lodestone Golem. And then we're going to get to attack him with Inferno Titan as well. So let's go for that attack. And we'll get rid of the Grand Abolisher as well. 1 to our opponent, 2 to Grand Abolisher. And that way we can actually... oh, and that gets them to scoop. That's a shame. So yeah, like I was saying, they seem to be really on the back foot throughout all of that. We do lose the Inferno Titan, but I think I was going to go in for Felden of the Third Path there. And then we would have been online for making a token of Inferno Titan next turn and starting to bolt my opponent several times. Yeah, we would have been 6 damage onto Inferno Titan, the copy, with Felden of the Third Path, once from entering and once from swinging in. And then we would have been left with 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So we could have gone... would we have drawn into a land? Yes, we would have drawn into a land, so I could have gone Buried Ruin onto the Ancient Stone Idol, and I've been kicked out into the lobby. But we could have sneak attacked in the Ancient Stone Idol and made a copy of Inferno Titan with Felden, swung in with both, and probably got on the victory, if not damn near to it. So I think we were winning that one anyway, because clearly our opponent had run out of gas. Hopefully you all enjoyed this grindy little Purphoros game. This was a more difficult one than I'm used to with this deck. I'm Tribal Kai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.